This is One-on-One. We are pleased to welcome Robert Kravitz, author of a terrific book called Blue Ribbon Story, an entrepreneur's success in education. He's a former entrepreneur. He became principal of a school number 3 in
Fort Lee, New Jersey.
And now he's the superintendent in Englewood Cliffs. What is your deal, man? You were a successful entrepreneur doing what kind of work?
I was selling cakes and desserts to restaurants, country clubs around the state.
And then what happens?
I needed change. Sold everything, had a business, had a building. Actually went to culinary school after college and decided it was time to change all my life and MBA the same way, and sold it and went into education.
Because? Why education?
I just loved, I was teaching chefs how to sell cakes. I was teaching how to run a business to everybody. What's the expectation? Why not teach children? And I went into teaching business in high school. And I loved it because I was teaching the real business. I was teaching how to write a business plan, how it felt like to sit in front of the SBA and ask for a loan. That's what I was teaching kids. And that was the greatest experience of my life when I made that switch.
So what happens? Do you begin to realize that you have some sort of secret to success, or what happens?
There's no secret to success. There's no magic bullet. It's just hard work. It's understanding the big picture, finding the entrepreneurial way of an angle. What's the best way to make it work?
Yeah, but you're an entrepreneur. I consider myself an entrepreneur. We have this production company. If we weren't entrepreneurs, we'd be out of business. But someone would say, many say, education, public school is not a business, and to take an entrepreneurial approach is simply just apples and oranges, you say.
There's a difference between business and entrepreneurship, right? That's what the entrepreneur is, the person who takes the one McDonald's and makes it 16 McDonald's. The businessman is the person who runs the day-to-day operations. So when we look at schools, and they always talk about this business approach to schools, it's more of an entrepreneurial way. How can we get other funds? How can I utilize the resources that I have?
Give us an example as to what you did, what you saw, and what succeeded.
So, in school 3, when we looked at the programs, we were spending a lot of money, tremendous amount of money on new programs, curriculum. This is the buzzword of what's going to solve the problem of children not learning. So I sit with a staff, just like we sit with a sales team. What does it take to sell the product? Well, I don't like this. I don't like this. Don't tell me the script that I have to use. So at the end of the day, this is my expectation. This is what I want sold to the kids. What are you going to do? I want to throw out these books. Fine. As long as you meet your expectation, you meet your goals, I'm a happy camper.
Yep.
When we did that, we actually lowered our cost per pupil.
Because you got rid of what wasn't working.
That's it. Isn't that what businesses do?
Did you get involved in return on investment?
Absolutely. In the 2012 budget for the state of New Jersey, we were listed. We had the second lowest cost per pupil with the second highest test results in the state.
That meant, wait a minute, hold on. You had to be driving people crazy.
Absolutely. Everybody I knew was going, you're not following it, including when the newspaper called and said, you turned a school around, made it a blue ribbon. What new program did you use?
Had to be new.
Had to be new. And I said, nothing. We threw out all the things that didn't work, asked the teachers what they wanted to teach, put everything in line, and got everyone involved. The comment was, that's not a good story. I need something innovative. Tell me about it, laptops. Tell me about something else. I said, no, it was old-fashioned teaching, and it worked. We went from 66% passing in one grade to 91% in 1 year. And all because getting everybody on board.
What's the triangle theory?
Triangle theory is, we talk about a parent-teacher relationship. Where's the administrator? I hold the purse strings. I want to sit in those meetings. If you need tutoring, what's the cost? Where's the return on my investment? That's how you evaluate a teacher. That's how you evaluate a parent. That's how it's all 3 angles come together with the child in the middle, pushing the same amount of pressure, the child succeeds. It's like an arrowhead, straight up.
What kind of reaction do you get from the teachers?
The teachers are on board. They didn't understand it, but just like an entrepreneur, I work with them. I'm in the trenches. That's where I came from. I'm a worker. So you need help? I'm there for you. What do you want to buy? I'll buy you anything you want, but I want to see it utilized every day. I want that return on my investment.
Yeah, but I'm always fascinated by you, Robert, when you started telling people you were going to hold them accountable for performance. I've had lots of discussions with some educators who say, you cannot hold us accountable for the performance of the student when there are so many other variables impacting on the student's performance that have nothing to do with the teacher.
It's a team
Which
effort.
is also true.
It absolutely is true. But it's the team effort. It's that triangle. Because there are teachers who don't call the parents. But just like with any corporation.
And there's some parents who are not helpful.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. But when the teacher calls and the parent doesn't respond, that's one thing. Now you have an administrator calling and saying, I'm here with the teacher. Where are you? It's a different spin on that, because now there's a guilt factor. You know, we all hate guilt. So when that message is left, because if I'm the ultimate person as a principal, and now they want to come to me to complain about the teacher, and I say, the teacher and I were here at 7:30 ready to tutor your child. I paid the teacher, and I was here. Where were you? That's a different aspect of that.
Why'd you write the book?
It's time to change. It's time to change. Every angle has to change. Administrators have to look differently about how we're doing education. Parents need to get involved. This is the largest percentage of their property taxes. Rarely do people come out for Board of Education meetings. Rarely do they understand where the money's going. Why? And teachers need to change the way we outlook. We've signed up at Englewood Cliffs. We have Dale Carnegie coming to train our teachers.
Yeah, you're now the superintendent at Englewood Cliffs.
That's
you have
correct.
Dale Carnegie coming in.
To train the teachers on customer service. We're the first one in the state. Why aren't schools looking at like a business and saying, I need to train my staff in customer service?
Let me ask you something. You love what you were doing at school number 3. Why become the superintendent in another school district?
Take it to the next level. Take it to the next level. Now we're doing it across 2 schools.
What's it?
Take it, meaning this passion, this desire to change the way we look at education. It has to change.
You want to take this across the country, don't you?
I want people to understand that if we don't change the way we're doing things and stop with all of these fuzzy little things that aren't making a difference for kids, we have a real problem. We have a real problem. Even when they created the euro, you know, in 1998, they had the Lisbon Convention, and they figured out what was going to make education, what was going to make all the countries better. Education. And they had to be equal. We're having this problem where we're not having a real conversation. There's things called, you know, extending the school year, extending the school day, all these little fancy things. It's not solving the problem. In school 3, we solve the problem. Englewood Cliffs, we're on that same path. We're making kids learn, getting them involved, getting the parents involved, looking at the return on investment. Within the same budget, how do I utilize my staff more? I mean, we're limited with our capital resources. The natural resources are our kids. So now our human resources. Get those teachers involved, and they rise to the occasion. What do you want? What do you need? Just like with any employee.
You love it.
I love it.
The author is Robert Kravitz. Blue Ribbon Story, an entrepreneur's success in education. I have a feeling a lot of folks are going to be talking about this, Robert.
You know what? It's a great story, and
Good
I
stuff.
did it.
Glad you told it here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by AmeriHealth Caritas, parent company of Perform Care, New Jersey Natural Gas, Johnson & Johnson, New Jersey Sharing Network, NJM, Choose New Jersey, and by Wells Fargo. Promotional support provided by The Record, North Jersey's trusted source, and NorthJersey.com, and by Commerce Magazine. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.